Grab a Wookiee as we review set number 75105, the Millennium Falcon, here on TalkBricks. Hello, and welcome back to another episode of TalkBricks, where I bring you the latest in LEGO news and reviews. Don't forget to subscribe to make sure you don't miss out on any of my upcoming videos, but let's get right to it. Michael here, and I'm so excited to be reviewing for you guys the largest of the Star Wars The Force Awakens sets, which is of course the iconic Millennium Falcon. This set contains 1,329 pieces and retails for $149.99. The Millennium Falcon is of course one of the most memorable ships, piloted by none other than Han Solo. Episode 7 not only brings back a lot of our favorite characters, but obviously some familiar ships as well. The round shape and familiar design of the Millennium Falcon really gets me excited for the movies, and reminds me of all of my great memories from the past. But before we get too far into the set, let's talk about everyone's favorite part, the minifigures. First up, we have Han Solo and Chewbacca, and these are some great characters to get again. On the right-hand side, this older version of Han Solo has some really nice gray hair, and his face definitely looks familiar, but certainly aged. His outfit seems to be mostly the familiar jacket and shirt combo, and I really like all the additional details they've added. On the legs, he's got his typical gun belt. Chewbacca seems to be just like the one we got in the Imperial Shuttle Tidarium, but instead of getting that standard crossbow piece, we get a brand new piece which seems to be more so like the one we recognize from the movie. But this time it has a built-in stud shooter, and you can see by pressing down on the gray tab, it launches the red stud inside. Han Solo does have a double-sided face, with this one being a more serious face, while the other has a bit of a smirk. Here from the side we can see the accessories with Chewbacca's crossbow on the left and Han's iconic gun on the right. From the back we get some nice additional details. We see more of the silver bandolier on Chewbacca and the back printing of the jacket on Han Solo. We've seen Rey and BB-8 before, but this is our first look at Finn, and he looks really great. I love the jacket with the different buckles and different patch details, and his hairpiece is a brand new one. Rey has the exact same outfit from Rey's speeder, but it still looks really nice with the different fabric and belt details. BB-8, everyone's favorite new astromech droid, has some nice details with the orange and silver details that continue throughout the body. Here from the side we can see the two guns. Finn has a black longer pistol, while Rey has a silver small pistol. Rey and Finn both have double-sided faces, with their secondary faces being more distressed. Here we have all of them from the back, and we can see some great continuation from the front. I especially like seeing Rey's hairpiece, which has this really unique three-bun design. Finally, we have our two villains of the set. On the left, we have Tasu Leech, and on the right, we have a member of the Kanja Club gang. Both these guys have some very interesting printing on the torsos, but I especially love the one on the left, as we can see that the different patterns and fabric pieces and belts continue from the top to the bottom. Only Tasu Leech has a double-sided face. Here on the second side, we can see it's a far more angry face. The gang member on the left has a nice patch over his eye, and they both seem to be rocking some goatees. Here from the side we can see their two weapons, which seem to be old-style pistols and rifles. I imagine these are meant to represent something more modern from the movie. We also get a good look at Tasu Leech's hair on the right, which seems to be a nice version of the Qui-Gon Jinn hair. On the left he's got a cap on, which seems to be the one from the swimmer from the collectible minifigure series. And here we have both of the minifigures from the back. We get some nice continuation of the prints from the front. On the left we can see a bag, and both seem to have some nice straps throughout. Here we have all of our minifigures from the front, and here we have all the minifigures from the back. And here we have the big beauty herself, the Millennium Falcon. This is by far my favorite of all of the Star Wars ships, and it has such a unique design. I love the overall curved shape, and it's really an interesting one to replicate out of LEGO. They came up with a great design in the past and seemingly have replicated it here, and it has some unique details though that weren't present on the original version. But let's break down all the details. At the very front of the ship we have these two angled portions. They've done a great job adding some additional color and different elements to break up the overall design. Tucked away on the inside, we can see one of these spring-loaded shooters as it just blends right in there. The designers did a clever thing here by hiding the trigger inside those circular donut-shaped plates. Simply press your finger inside to fire off the spring-loaded shooter. As we work our way towards the main body, we see the cockpit piece that protrudes off the side. This is a very iconic feature of the Millennium Falcon, and it features this really nice cone-shaped canopy. The top piece is clear with some printing, and we also get this nice circular dish on the front with some additional printing. To access the interior of the cockpit, simply separate out the front from the main body. Here you can see a quite simplified cockpit, but it does have room enough for one minifigure. Here we can see the controls, which consists of a lever piece and a console with some different buttons printed on a sticker. The curved shape of the Millennium Falcon is accomplished by putting all of these pieces on hinges together. Here we can see how they tried to provide different differentiation amongst the greebling to give it a really good look overall. At the very back we have this clear blue hose piece to represent the engine. The top of the Millennium Falcon is composed of these different panel pieces that are all folded towards the center to give it that great circular shape. They did a nice job in this version to create some different color differentiations, as well as add some fun details. The iconic radar dish of the original Millennium Falcon has been replaced with this more rectangular dish. It's on a ball joint, so it can be bent around, though, at all different angles. There are many stickered parts on the top, which provide that really great detail that we expect when it comes from such a complicated and notable ship. At the very center of the ship, we have a cannon which can be manned from the inside. It has some really nice details and can be turned at any angle, as well as posed up and down. To access the interior of the ship, first start by sliding forward this front piece. The remaining panels can simply be lifted open. There are a lot of familiar areas of the ship. I really love this seating area, which includes the chessboard. This was a really memorable scene from one of the original movies. The chessboard is printed on a shield piece like the one from Captain America, and we can see all the different sticker details of the backs of the chairs, as well as some buttons on top. Right near that seating area, we have this control console. It has a nice sticker on it to provide all of these different controls and buttons and knobs. There's also a chair for someone to man this station that spins around and bends backwards and forwards. The back of the ship is quite messy, which leads me to believe that the Millennium Falcon wasn't taken care of too well over all these years. On one side here we can see these two tan beds, but there's even some stuff sitting on one of them. In the other corner of the ship we can see all sorts of debris with different pieces and hoses and crates meant to represent all of this different chaos. At the center here we have this main engine. Here we can see these two lavender colored pieces, as well as that centerpiece have some nice stickers to represent all the different hoses and vents and different elements to the engine. Just in front of the engine we have this section with two lever pieces, as well as some clips where one holds a wrench. There are two main hatches in the floor. One is home to a secret compartment, and the other one lowers down the main ramp. Though as you can see from the bottom, it's not very useful. At the center of the Millennium Falcon we have the main weaponry, and for a minifigure to pilot this, simply lift the hatch and pull out this piece. Here we see this basic platform where you can set some minifigures on top in order to have them fire the top and lower cannons. Simply place two minifigures on the platform and set it inside. As you can see, it's a pretty tight fit. On the bottom here you can see the four legs that holds up the Millennium Falcon, as well as the lower cannon. And here we have everything back together for my final thoughts. This Millennium Falcon really reminds me of my love of Star Wars. Having this in my collection really makes me so excited, as I'm a huge fan and the Millennium Falcon is certainly one of my favorites. As many of you are aware, this is a bit of a rehash compared to the one we got a couple years ago. The main construction and the overall design seems to be nearly identical. They did a nice job of updating the design to match more of the modern aesthetic and some of the changes they've made in Episode 7. But if you have the old set, I'm not sure this is one that you should upgrade to. 5 out of 8 of these figures are exclusive to this set, and some of them are certainly the most sought after, with Han Solo and Finn being among them. At $150, this set sure is a bit expensive, so you're definitely going to want to decide whether this is the most important one for you to have from the line, as the line in general is quite expensive. But those are just my thoughts about the set, and I'd love to hear yours in the comments down below. Let me know, what did you think about the Millennium Falcon, and will you be picking it up? And if you like what you see here, don't forget to leave me a thumbs up down below and subscribe to make sure you don't miss out on any of my upcoming reviews. That's all the time we've got for today. Thanks, and have a good one. Hey guys, Michael here. Did you miss out on any of my Force Awakens reviews? Click on this annotation to watch all of them in a playlist. And don't forget to subscribe to make sure you don't miss out on any of my upcoming videos.